Yes. What can I say? Again, we prepared extremely well. First, I want to give just a special thanks to my staff. My staff just worked overtime as far as getting this prepared, the scouting report prepared. I can't say enough about them. We worked tirelessly just to make sure that everything was prepared. Cambays is a load. Their guards are a very, very big part of what they do. So we wanted to make sure that we guarded at a high level. And then, I really can't say enough about our team. Our team just came with the fire, the emotion, the passion that it really took to play in a high-level game like this. A lot of emotions, a lot of just we wonder what's next, what's going to happen today. Coach Knox jersey is retired in this building, and we're playing at a well-known team, the LA Sparks. So, what's going to really happen out here? And I had to constantly pull them back to let just the basketball sense take its course in our huddles, and it was good. It was good. So I'm thankful, blessed to be here. It was a very good win for our team.
Tony, let's start. Can you take me through the emotions you were feeling towards the end of the game? I saw NaLyssa and Destiny cover up on your shoulders when they knew you were going to pull it out. Lots of hugs, the team mobs. How did that all feel for you when the win finally happened?
I can't explain it. It felt so marvelous. I mean, those young ladies mean so much to me. They're like my daughters, to be honest. Our relationship is second to none. We spend a lot of time together, and they work extremely hard for me, and I work extremely hard for them. And again, our bond could never be broken. I get on their butts. I make sure that they're doing the right thing, but at the same time, I put my arms around them and love on them because I know that they come from greatness. So they were very excited for me, very happy for me. And before the game, they told me, they said, "Hey, Coach, we're going to get this one for you." So I just said, "Hey, you make sure you continue to try to get the rest of these for me as well."
101 points is the most you guys have scored this season. It felt like for most of you there's a big emphasis on getting to the rim. Is that sort of one of the things you as a coach really put a focus on, is attacking the basket, creating through that sort of style on offense?
Absolutely, yes. That was one of the things that I talked about yesterday. I wanted to make sure that we play a fast pace, and we have guards that can really get downhill. We have guards that can really shoot the basketball, and we have agile post players that can really get to the basket and touch the paint and make plays. So we want to make sure that we are utilizing our strengths on the floor against teams.
Anything, Coach?
Yeah, you talked about just guarding Liz earlier. She was able to get to the line, but from the field, she was 2 for 11. What do your bigs do so well to contain Liz Cambage?
Well, one of the things we wanted to do, we wanted to catch her early in transition. As she was running down the floor, we wanted to make sure that we were at least disruptive, because when you have a force like Liz, it's very difficult for you if you allow her to get position in the paint. And she's just a great player. So as she sprints down the floor, you have to kind of get in the way, so to speak, and you have to make sure that everybody around you is super aware. And our guards were aware. We put an extreme amount of ball pressure on the passer, and when she did finally catch it on the block, we tried to send a hardcore double team so that she would become uncomfortable.
D-Rob had a double-double with just 1 turnover. What can you say about her play tonight?
We had a long talk yesterday about her play, and she asked me, she said, "Coach, what do you think about my game? What do you think I'm doing wrong?" And I said, "D-Rob, you're a veteran at this game. You're not doing anything wrong. I think if I had to say something, it would be 1 out of 10. I think you're about a 7.5 with your focus level. You just came from overseas, you played a long season, and I don't think you're all the way here yet as far as the WNBA season with your focus level." And sometimes that happens when you come from another country and seasons, and it takes you a while to get acclimated. So she looked me dead in the eye and she said, "Coach, I understand what you're saying, And she said, I can appreciate what you're saying because it's the absolute truth. So today, she came to shoot around, extremely focused, more than I've seen her this year. And I knew she would have a great game.
Kind of going more on that emotions point that you talked about earlier, it was very emotional. You coming off the court, just giving a bunch of hugs and handshakes to everybody. What was that moment like for you? Because I know you said it twice now in the last few days about this being your dream.
It was very touching. It was humbling. I had a lot of family members here. I had a lot of people that respect me at a high level and respect my coaching ability, that support me. They support me in the city of Indianapolis. It was just one of those things that, a lot of people were able to make it out to see my first debut game at, the Indiana Coliseum, Farmers Coliseum, and, I'm IUPUI alumni, and it was just one of those situations that was touching to everybody. So me personally, I was very emotional behind it because it felt so heartwarming. It felt so much like just a great, beautiful scenario and a situation.
NaLyssa Smith came back after missing a few games, had 17 points tonight. What did she just add? Her presence obviously was very much felt on the court today. What does she add to your team that maybe was missing the last few games?
That's a good way to put it, because NaLyssa Smith's presence alone, it brings a tremendous amount of confidence to our team. NaLyssa is obviously the number 2 pick in the draft. She played with the almost national championship team. She plays at a very high level. Her ability to think the game, play the game, and her ability to see the game is tremendous. She has a great feel, and we need her out there because it just adds another piece that's very valuable for us. And when we talked today, she talked to me about really being focused on coming back and making an impact. And I told her, I said, hey, I know you'll make an impact. I do. But I need you not to put too much pressure on yourself because you're coming off an injury. And she looked at me and she said, hey, I got you, coach. So I had to make sure that I played her in the right way. And I went to her a little early just to kind of get the feel of how she was feeling. And she kind of showed me that she was okay. And once that happened, it was good for us.
It seems like a couple of your rookies got under Liz Cammy's her skin a little bit, and she was kind of visibly frustrated. How important was that to see, or how exciting was that to see? Obviously such a great player in the WNBA, and your rookies out there frustrating her.
I'll tell you what, I tell my players this all the time. Don't get too high and don't get too low about anything. That's a great player. That's an experienced player. Liz has scored over 60 points in a single game in the WNBA. So yes, you got the best of her tonight, but don't think that for 1 minute that she's not going to think about that and think about that and think about that. And I want to be clear with my team because I played at a high level for a long time myself, and I understand what the art of competition is. And that's the same for the coaching staff. I have a tremendous amount of respect for Fred Williams, who's the assistant coach over there, and Derek Fisher. I really love those guys. Those are great coaches. So it's not about getting too high or too low over a loss or a win. So I just try to keep them humble and make sure that they understand that.
We go to one on Zoom. Michelle Vopel.
Yeah, Coach. Congratulations on the win tonight.
Thank you.
You talked about the rookies. You know how important, obviously, the young players are. Can you talk about your relationship in general with this class of rookies and some of the things you've told them about, hey, this is a little bit of a fresh start, a new start for you guys, and how they responded to that?
Well, that's interesting because they have been very receptive to it. Obviously, coming in, they had no idea what the WNBA style, what the WNBA had to offer. So they had a rude awakening when it came to playing against teams that were, over physical and not not really giving them any type of breaks when it came to getting calls or rip driving them, shooting threes in their face. It was a lot of things going on that they just were not ready to handle physically. But now, as we talk about this new era, I think one of the things that they respect the most from me is when we talk about the game, I can kind of relate to how they're feeling and what they're going through as a player, because I personally have the experience of playing professional basketball for a long, long time. So I have their full attention. And when I talk to them about this rookie season, they are extremely excited. They're in the gym with me every single day. They're in film with me every single day. They want to learn. They're excited about the next steps in development. So it's very, very real for them to become great players, and that's what I love about them.
Thank you.
Oh, good. Carlos, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got one more? Yeah.
Yeah, for you, your first win at the pro level, you talked about this job being your dream. Now you got 3 days off before your next game.
Yes.
How long do you think can you focus on celebrating before you go back to focusing on being the coach of this team?
About 20 minutes, to be honest. Because we will be looking at film tonight, breaking film down tonight about some of the things that happened throughout the course of the game. And I talked to my team about this. It's a lot of things that happen that we can get better in, and it's a lot of things that happen that we were good at. But in order for us to be successful, we have to understand that this is a long road, and we have to be prepared to play every single game. Yes, we did something marvelous tonight, and we established ourselves, and we were able to overcome an emotional night, and I'm excited and I'm happy about that. So now the real work starts. So to answer your question, we're in the lab tonight.
As a rookie, having a coaching change can obviously be a little challenging, but I saw you late in the game, about 20 seconds left, kind of rubbing Carlos' shoulders and getting him excited. How did it feel to celebrate with him and be a part of this team to get him a win in his first game?
Yeah, I love Los. I feel like there's no one more deserving than him. And when he got called on to get that position, just like amps you up. Like, when genuine people get things that they deserve, it just makes you feel better. So I'm glad he's our coach.
His whole career as a coach, he's been lauded for player development, right? Working with Tamika, Katie Douglas, a bunch of NBA players. As a young player and the top 2 pick, how does it make you feel that that's your coach? That guy's working with you every day.
Oh, it's great. We get in the gym all the time. We're all constantly working out. So we already had that bond prior to him becoming the head coach.
Gabby, Zion, anything?
You had 3 3-pointers today, and obviously, your size is a big factor for you. So how do you balance that part of your game, on the inside versus the outside?
Whatever is falling, that's what I kind of fall back on. So the 3 was falling, so I kept shooting it. Just gaining confidence as an all-around player, trying to play inside out is harder to guard, so I definitely lean on that.
And then Carlos said before that at shoot-around, everyone noticed his jersey in the rafters. What was that moment like for you guys, and just to kind of have that there the entire game, and just knowing that he's had success in this gym, and then to obviously get your guys' first win in this gym?
Yeah, it just shows you the legacy he already has. It shows the basketball knowledge he has. Like being a Hall of Famer, you could do something right, and a little about basketball. So just seeing that, it just gives you more confirmation that he's a great coach.
At what point leading up to the game did you know you'd be active?
You said what?
At what point leading up to the game did you know you'd be active tonight?
I knew yesterday I was going to play.
And then you guys had 5 different players scoring in double figures. Where do you think that balance came from, and how much can that help your team?
Just confidence. When you can call anybody off the bench and just expect, to get numbers and expect to get rebounds, it's a great feeling. So, we have so many talented players on this team, expect nothing less.
We'll go on Zoom. Michelle Vopel.
Yeah, NaLyssa, I was just wondering, you've had a few games obviously you've missed, but you're off to a really strong start. What's your assessment so far of how you've adjusted to the WNBA? Has it been about what you expected, or have there been things that have surprised you at all?
It's kind of been about what I've expected. I knew you were gonna have to play fast. I knew it was gonna be physical. I knew you had to play through a lot of things. So just coming in, I feel like I adjusted well. Especially with this team, it's easy to adjust.
And defensively in particular, because you do have to guard a variety of players, which I know you did in college. What has that been like in terms of just strictly the defensive
Just
side of everything?
like knowing your personnel, watching a lot of film. We watch a lot of film. We break down like moves. So just watching that, it helps you like be able to defend everybody every different night.
Thank you.
Last one, go Dion Cash.
Hey, NaLyssa, I'm sorry. Good to have you back. You was really starting to find your way as far as your role, defining the role. You got the injury. You come back tonight. How did it feel for you? And almost looked like you were, like you left off where, like you kind of left off where you were, and you guys were winning 2-2. So how did it feel for you tonight? And did you feel comfortable out there, after missing 5 games?
Yeah, it felt great tonight. I kind of like sat back and thought about it. Every time like you get an injury, it's not always a bad thing. Sometimes it happens for a reason, just for you to sit back and take things in and try to learn things. So I took this opportunity just to like sit back, see what I needed to work on. And when I finally got released, I shot a lot. I shot a lot of threes, shot a lot of twos. So I just feel like it helped me come back and have a game that I did have.
Is part of you more motivated that it was his first team to get him that victory?
Yeah, because yeah, speaking of D-Rob, she was just telling us let's do it for him because it's his first game, and obviously do it for ourselves because we got up to a rough start. So we did it for both, like our team and for him. So.
Seems like you guys were attacking the rim a little more than in some past games. Is that something Carlos has had you guys focus on the last couple of days on your offensive side of the ball?
Honestly, our focus has been coming out and starting games out really well, like the first half and the second half. So if attacking the rim is what it is, is what it is. If shooting threes and they're going in is what it is, is what it is. It's whatever's working at that time.
You guys were really hot from three, made 11 threes on the day. Is that something you think could have anything to do with just being in the new arena? Is there something different about shooting in this gym versus the field house?
Oh no, I love the field house. It's just honestly, I think it was the flow of our game and how relaxed we were coming out. And I feel like if you're relaxed and playing, good things will happen.
D-Rob had a double-double with just 1 turnover. What did you think of her play tonight, just being a fortune?
That's what we need. 11 assists, like, I'm not saying we don't need a scoring point guard. We need somebody to facilitate the game for us, to help us get it going ourselves. And she did that, but like she controlled everything from the offense and the defense.
Kelsey now with her 6th game with 20 or more points. Her performances, how have you felt about her performances as well?
She's been playing great. I told her, like in the game, I said, keep firing, keep letting it go. It's going in, don't matter, just keep shooting, because we're going to win this game tonight. I told her exactly that, keep going.
Gabby, anything to tell you?
Playing against Liz Cambridge again, it seems like you guys were able to rattle her a bit. Obviously, she only shot 2 of 11 from the field, had a lot more points on the free throw line, but what was the key to limiting her tonight, obviously after she scored 22 points on you guys earlier this season?
Yeah, our main focus was her this game, doubling and just bringing like any kind of like defense we could to her. Yeah, like I said, our game plan was to double her and bring any kind of defense we could to her, and I felt like our rookies did a great job of just making her be out of it. If you get Liz out of it, like you have a chance of winning the game, and they did a phenomenal job of that.
Kelsey, can you take me through that end of the game moment buzzer announcing Omar Carlos as his first win? He's talked about it being his dream. What did it mean to celebrate that victory with him?
It was priceless. I think for us, obviously a change in leadership, with no disrespect to Coach Marianne, because I love her as well. But it was good to see him step into it so fast, and we respond fast. And get him a win here in his hometown. Essentially going to IUPUI, and his name was in the Raptors. It just meant a lot, and we knew what it was going to take, messing with a good team like LA, and we were just happy that we could walk away with this one.
101 points is the most you guys have scored this season. Did you guys do something well that clicked really well on offense tonight? The shots were falling from 3. Is there anything you thought looked really good on that end?
I would say Coach Lowe's told us to hang loose. When I say hang loose, use your instincts, use your skills, to get you what you got to go. That's not necessarily, X's and O's and, doing plays and stuff like that. He just told us to hang loose and do who we were. So it helped a lot.
So I saw Landon give you 2 different shoes.
Yeah.
I didn't see 2 different shoes earlier in the game.
I'm a Nike athlete, and I love LeBron's. LeBron's my guy. And for some reason, my air bubble kept busting. So I had to bring my shoes from my car. One was working and the other one wasn't. So I had to do like a mix and match to the ones that were working. And then at the end of the game, that one busted. So I'm out of shoes today. But
Gotta do what you gotta do, right?
I do what I gotta do. I wasn't being flashy at all, though. I was just trying to finish the game, the right way. So.
Did someone have to run to your car for you?
Yeah, shout out to Laura, our manager. They do a really good job. I'm really grateful for them because some people would have said no, but I'm glad she said yes. She asked for my car after. I was like,
Did she have your keys?
yeah, she had my keys. I had to explain everything mid-game. It was just weird, but it worked out. It definitely worked out.
Carlos explained before the game that shoot around today, you guys obviously saw his jersey in the rafters and he saw it and it was kind of a special moment.
Yeah.
What did you guys kind of say to him when you guys saw it or just talking about that with him?
We kind of made fun of him, like, wow, we never met a coach who's raptor, making fun of him. But at the end of the day, we kind of embraced that situation, that moment, and knowing that at the end of the day, we was going to work hard for him, win, lose, or draw. And to see his rappers in there was just kind of a plus, like, it was a real moment, kind of unique, not coincidental, you know what I'm saying? So it just felt good to kind of like have this moment happen for him under a FIBA organization. It was a really big deal.
NaLyssa came back today.
Yeah.
Obviously, she made her presence felt. What did she bring today that maybe you guys have been missing or just, looking for from her?
Definitely that scoring mentality, size. The one thing about Liz, she's a jack of all trades as far as length, being able to play both sides of the ball. She can guard a guard, she can be a guard. It's just she's a jack of all trades, and so you kind of miss that, that plus, and having her back and kind of like spread our floor a little bit more, made our spacing a lot better. It just overall made our approach different, if that makes sense.
You guys shot over 50% from three today, and I wanted to ask: is there any main difference between shooting here and shooting in Cambridge as far as the backdrop or anything?
Not really. I would say it definitely feels a little bit more homier. Our crowd is kind of engaged and on top of us compared to Cambridge. We just don't bring that many people, so it kind of always feels empty. I would say here it just feels like we have that, that extra home feeling here.